Hey gang, hey friends, hey gang friends! Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video finds you well. Well, if you're new here, then hello. My name is Jo and I do nail stuff. She does stuff, nail stuff. The stuff she does with nails is done with nail stuff. So, today we're going to do New Year's Eve set. I know it's not Christmas yet until tomorrow, but we need to start planning for New Year's Eve. So, that's what we're doing. I'm going to paint 4 nails with Blackout, which is a gel perfection colour that you can find at diamondglitters.co.uk. Sorry about that. And you can use code TEAMDG for a discount there. The first nail we're starting with has had 2 coats of Blackout. We're taking Foil It, the foil gel, and then I'm sort of trying to make my brush a bit more round than splayed. And I'm just going to dibbity dab dab in bits over there. I should possibly have wiped the Blackout first and then given it a quick buff so that the foil doesn't stick to anywhere on the black, but it's not that big a deal because I always double cure black, just do, and then the Foil It gel has a 2-minute cure, so there's not much tackiness left on the black, so it's fine. So we're taking this gold metallic foil and we're going to do that in patches just over that bit, so there's bits of black between the bits of foil. And now we're taking the first base. Why? Oh yes, I'm curing that. Oh, then I decided to wipe and buff because I want to paint on top of it. But if you try and paint over foil, then you're not going to get nice, neat lines. So I was going to paint straight onto the first base. But what happened? I probably messed it up. So wiped it off and then thought, let's just give it a buff for buff's sake. So I'm taking Alaska, which is the Gel Perfection White, and I'm going to do some stars. Just stars. A big one, a small one, and then I can't remember what else I did. I did film this a few days ago, so I can't remember. Can't even remember what I have for breakfast. That's a lie. I haven't had any breakfast, and it's, 2 o'clock. So I'm filling in the stars, just normal, basic stars. This nail in particular is inspired by nails by Dunja Habsoul. Nailed it. The rest are inspired by nothing, really. One's inspired by a clock that used to be in my kitchen. So I've done those sort of two types of stars on this nail. The normal one, which is your basic, how you draw a star, up, down, diagonally up, across, diagonally down, and then up again. No, I'm filling it in, and now I'm doing some kind of spacey stars. So I'm using the product from that dot, the initial dot there, and then just pulling out, not putting any extra product on to do the arms. Oh, and then we're adding some dots. Diddly doot 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 doot. Is this going well? I feel like it's going really well. I've cured all that, and then I'm topping with diamond gloss, of course, which we need to discuss. I have a plan. And that's the first one done. Nice and easy, I suppose. And we can move on to the next one. We can look at it for a bit. Ooh. Okay, get on with it, woman. So the next one, I am doing a second coat of Blackout. Why am I showing you that second coat? I don't know. So we're now covering the whole thing in Foil It, and this is going to I'm going to do full foil, which I'm fine with foils. With Foil It, they're really easy, but plain color, so I'm using the same gold metallic foil, plain color foils like this, I struggle to get a perfect shiny surface without any cracks or creases. I really should have used a gold chrome here, so if you've got a gold chrome, then do that. I do have one, but it's too yellow and it wouldn't go with the rest of the set. But it would give you a shine, like a smoother surface. You see, I've got cracks and things in this, but I wasn't going to let that stop me carrying on. I did attempt to do it again after I filmed with a gold chrome, but it was just too yellow. So I've done this foil over the whole nail, patched in bits if there were any creases or whatever. Oh, more bits. And then I am going to do Oh, poop. I can't remember what I'm doing. Oh, this one's going to have more stars as well. But I am going to top it with Diamond Gloss and give it a quick buff. Just so I've got, again, a smooth surface to paint on. Painting on that foil, there's no way you'd get a neat line just where I've got creases and things. I possibly should have topped it with base coat, like I did with the other one, and painted straight on that, because where I've buffed off some tiny little bits of foil that weren't completely smooth, so there's some black spots, but I just figured I'll cover them up, cover that shit up, put some stars on it. So if you do it this way and have any gaps, then just put something there. So we're going to do more stars. You'll see as I paint the star, it's a non-stop talker, apologies. I do the outline of the star, and then when I fill it in, I try not to go right up to the points. So I use that brush mark. I use the lines we've made as the point. So I try not to take the paint right back into the point to soften, which will soften it. Does that make sense? Let's see if I actually follow what I'm saying in this one. So I've done the outline, and then just fill in the gaps. Don't push it right up. Although I think I do end up trying to sharpen the points a bit. So you do them however you want to do them. Don't listen to me. The fuck do I know? So I'm going to do some stars on there in black and white. And this nail, I wanted to, because there's a matte nail in this set, which we'll get to in a sec, in several minutes. I wanted to do a matte aspect somewhere else in the set. I just spat on myself. A matte aspect somewhere else in the set to tie in with the matte nail. So I topped this. The reason I did the gold on black polish, which the foils are really opaque, you can't really see through them. But I did the gold on black because I'd done gold on black on the others, and I wanted it to have the same colour under it, so it would come out the same. Normally, a plain colour foil I'd do, like gel polish colour I'd put underneath would be as close a colour to the foil as possible. So I've topped this with Diamond Gloss, and now I'm going to make it velvet, and I'm going over the black stars because I wanted there to be some matte somewhere else, but you can't see them because I didn't think you could see the black very well, and you can see them a bit better when they're matte. But then I went back the day after filming and decided to outline them in white because it was just annoying me that you couldn't see them very well. So what I would suggest doing would be, before you top with Diamond Gloss, so before this step of matting the black stars, outline the black stars with white, then top with Diamond Gloss, and then matte your blacks if you want them matte. Whereas I am doing them now and then thought, how am I going to top these without affecting the rest of it? I didn't want to go over with matte again because I thought it would sort of be too matte. So I've just left it. It's just up there. The white's still tacky. But if you outline them before you top the whole thing and then matte the blacks, then that's how you'd want to do it. So that's that one. I think we're done with stars now. So we're now taking Alaska and we're going to do our just before midnight clock. I'm pushing up in the center and then bringing it down. That's how you're going to start your circle, and then splay your bristles out to get the sides. And this isn't going to be, that's not the full clock, this is kind of just the top of the clock. So I'm just neatening that shape up, trying to get it even. But I think using the polish brush is the easiest way to do this this shape. So while we are carrying on with this nail, I'm going to do some Roman numerals, just X's and lines. So that's straightforward. I'm using the very, 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 very tip of my brush to do these, to get some nice thin lines. Let's have an episode of, I know it's back, it's Lovers and Haters. Lovers and Haters, Lovers and Haters. So we have some new lovers, some new subscribers. So I want to say hello to Melissa Scheidler, who says your laughter is contagious, but in a good way, not like COVID. I will quickly point out that I'm not doing all the numbers round the clock because it's not the full face of the clock. We're just going to do the 11, 12 and the 1. And while that's happening, we'll have a hater, shall we? I've decided not to put their names on because I don't know. I feel like it was bad juju. So I'll just put them up and you can read them and yeah, have fun with it. I've added a dot at the bottom here. I'm going to do 2 lines. We're going to do it just about midnight. And then I thought it was looking a bit bland. So I'm adding a dot on the end and then I'm pulling that up to make it like a bit of a fancy pointer. It is like a clock I used to have, so I was kind of going by that. And then I thought I still need more stuff, so I'm doing some tiny little lines. And if you go from the white outwards, then it doesn't matter if you go up into the black because you won't see it and it's going to get covered in a minute anyway with some glitter. And then I wanted to make these a bit fancy. I tried a whole bunch of different things here. Curly arms, bits coming off it, but then I thought dots. We love our dots. So that made them look a bit more intricate. And then again, you can leave it there. I can't. We know I can't. I have to faff and do more. So I'm curing as I go. And then I'm trying to do some very thin lines. Again, just with the real tip of my brush. The very tip of your brush is like almost one tiny hair that sticks out. So I'm using that just to give the clock a little bit more detail. Do I add any more? I don't think so. I think that was enough. We have another hater. We're going to do a lover sandwich as always. We'll start nice and end nice and put the shitty people in the middle. Oh no, look, I am adding more detail. Oh, goodness me. I'm doing some tiny little lines in between. The one bang smack in the middle under the 12 is obviously the one I was going to mess up and it pokes out a bit, but you know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're going to be putting a bunch of glitter on this, so that's the least of our worries. I'm taking Champagne Toast, which is this gorgeous gold colour, and I'm going to mix it with some gold holographic multi-mix, again from diamondglitters.co.uk. And I'm going to add some of that. Do I add something else to it? Possibly, I think I do. I got a bit carried away just because, oh, it's so sparkly and beautiful. Oh yes, I'm adding... What is this? This is Sand Holographic 004, so it's a really fine one. And you can mix it with base coat to make a glitter, but I thought, well, why not mix it with a gold? Makes sense. We have a comment from Lacquered Llama, who says, I love your intro. I'm part of a gang now. I'm a member of Miss Jo's Manny Mob. We throw gang signs like, We are indeed. We are all part of the gang, and I love it. So I'm now taking... base coat, the first base, and I'm mixing some of the Christmas multi-mix just by itself because I do want to fade what we're about to do up, so I want some clear in there. So I'm taking the first mix, that's the gold polish and the 2 glitters, and I'm going to draw a line around here and then start to fade it up. I was probably using the wrong brush for this, but I persevered, I think. So I'm adding a bit more now, and then I'm going to leave a little thin black line around the clock, and then I'll fade this upwards, and then I'm going to take the clear mix before curing, the mix of the gold hollow multi-mix and the first base, and then add that above this line and use that to sort of fade it up. That's it here, and just kind of, I don't know what the clock's doing. It's kind of like time, you know, like a sand timer. It's almost like time sort of flying away, or, you know, I don't know. It makes me think of Thanos's click for some reason, when everything just starts to flutter away. So that's kind of what's happening with this clock. I need to mention, someone said the other day, there was a few of us having a conversation in the comments, and I can't find it. Otherwise I would say, I know the name, but it's somebody Shih Tzu and someone else, and I can't remember, I'm sorry, and I won't be able to find it, I'm sure, about Diamond Gloss, which we are now topping this with. I'm going to cure it and buff it. But a lot of people were saying how they or their partners are singing Diamond Gloss. And so I was thinking, if you can send a sound bite or a voice clip to Miss Jo's Instagram. Oh, look at this top coat porn. So good. So that's been topped and buffed, and now I'm topping again. If you can send a voice clip to my Instagram, Miss Jo's Nail Co, then I can try and incorporate your diamond glosses into videos. That's what I want to try and do. So if you can manage to send a voice clip, do that. Say your name, like where you're from or something, and I'll see about putting them in the videos. I think that would be hilarious. So that's that one done. We are now taking Make It Velvet, and we're going to matte this nail. So we've cured that, and I'm going to draw some champagne glasses, which are going to be clinking, cheersing, chin-chinning. My German best friend, she's always made us do a cheer, like a clink at the top of the glass, a clink at the bottom, and you'd look at each other and go, tits and arse. So I'm doing a U sort of shape, like a pointy bottom U, and then a straight line for a stem, and then I've done a straight line at the bottom and then kind of just pulled it up in a little triangle at the bottom. And I'm going to make my glass taller, longer, bigger, because the bigger the glass, the more the fizz. And then we'll do this other one just at a bit more of an angle, and it's a bit lower, so I think I bring the stem down a bit lower. I'm not sure. I did paint these a few times. I was trying different looking ones, so I think that stem might be longer when it comes out of the lamp. I might have changed it. I've got a bottle. One of my clients, Ali, who has YouTube, Diary of a Detour, she has had her appointment yesterday, and she left me with a Christmas present that is bottle shaped. So I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know what bottle it is, but thank you for that, and hello to Ali. She's one of my favourite clients, and I'm sure whatever the bottle is will be empty by the time I next see her. So I'm going to cure my champagne glasses, and now I'm taking the first glitter mix, which is the polish and the 2 glitters, and I'm going to pop that at the bottom of the glass, and then I'm going to sort of curve it upwards towards the center, because obviously it would be leaning that way as you cheers glasses, like so. I'll do that on both of them, and then I'm going to cure that, or flash cure possibly. I have been flash curing a lot through this whole set. When I did the Roman numerals, I would flash the first one, flash the second one, just flash everything as you go. Unless you need wet on wet, a quick flash cure is fine. Or if you need a tacky layer for something, I won't flash cure loads, because the more you cure it, the less tacky your layer becomes. Oh, and I missed this. I was so annoyed I didn't press record. So I took some of the dots from the clear mix, and I made sure that they were right on the tip of my brush like this, so that where they were wet, had a bit of the clear on them, they would stick to it, but putting it right on the tip of my brush so that I didn't have to drag my brush and get clear on the matte background. So they've stuck on just by being inside, having been mixed with the base coat, and they were cured. And now I'm topping with super gloss, because it's thicker, so I don't want to obviously buff over this glitter, because it will mess up everything else. So I'm using super gloss, and then I won't buff over that will be done, and it's going to seal in that glitter nicely and make sure it's smooth. It will be a tiny bit raised, but that's fine. And then taking it down the stem, if you do get a bit, like I flash cured doing the first glass on this when I just topped it, because I didn't want the gel to spread and make any of the matte shiny. But if a bit of it spreads, and it does, like on these dots it does, that's no problem. I think I was using diamond gloss for these, not super gloss. So just going over the dots, and then everything else stays matte, and they're supposed to be bubbles, I guess. So there's our little cheers glasses. I really like them, they're so cute. Makes me want champagne. We do normally have champagne for breakfast on Christmas Day, so that will be nice. And will set me up for a continual buzz for the day. Just a nice buzz for the most bland Christmas in the history of Christmases. So I'm now I've done just the one coat. Have I said this? I've done just the one coat of blackout on this nail. The reason I'm putting black first is because I'm putting everything on top of black. So I want it to have the same undertone, you know, underneath it. So I've taken the gold polish and 2 glitter mixes. I've put a bunch of it in the middle, and now I'm going to pat on some loose gold multi-mix, and this is going to be kind of a burst of glitter, and it's going to fade. The black on the outside is going to fade into the glitter, which I'll explain when we get to it. So I'm patting this on, but leaving a border around the outside, and then that's going to be cured. Shiny sparkly in the lamp. Off you go. Toodaloo. I'm now taking Foil It, just for an added tie it in with everything else. I'm going to do the same technique that we did on the first one, just patty pat pat. Cure that for 2 minutes and add some foil, just so it's got that sort of metallic shine in spots here and there. We don't need to cure after doing the foil, that's on. So we're going to top that with, what are we going to top it with? Let's have a look. Super gloss. So we'll top that with super gloss, and then I'm going to buff. I know I say it all the time, but you don't want to paint onto a cured, dry, shiny surface. It's not going to adhere very well. So if ever I'm going to paint over a topped surface, I'll always give it a buff. Off camera I did that. I'm now taking the blackout, and I'm going to do a thickish line around the outside, although I wish I had done it not quite as thick, because I end up having to bring it in really far to get the fade effect. Sorry, the doorbell just went, and it was Dexter's dog Walker bringing him a Christmas present. It was so cute. He was so excited to see her. It's like weird that he has friends outside of us. So I'm taking an ombre brush, which I don't use for ombres, but it's good for this. And I'm going to bring that in, just fade it inwards. And then the area that you have faded, I'm wiping it on my glove. I'm wearing gloves not because my nails are a mess. I mean, they were. They still are. But because I had a cut on my hand and it just kept bleeding, and I thought that's not a good look. So I am fading it in, and then the bit we've faded in is obviously thinner than the bit above it. So, and then fading that down, and just each time we bring a bit in, then fading that bit in as well. Fade in the faded bit. And if I was doing this again, I probably wouldn't have put so much black around the outside to start with, because it does end up coming in a bit further than I wanted it to. But once we top, you can see the glitter under the black, where the black's fading out, and it looked cooler in real life than it does when I show you at the end. It does on camera look like you can see the exact outline where we initially put the glitter, like in a sort of block harsh line, but it didn't look like that to the naked eye. So I cured the black that we'd faded in, and now I've topped that with diamond gloss. Of course. You got 2. It's Christmas. That's your present. What a shit present. I'm sorry. And that, I believe, is all of them. I think we've looked at this one for long enough now, Joseph. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe so you can keep up to date with all new videos. I want to thank everybody so much for their support for me and my channel this last year. It's been my first sort of YouTube year. And I feel like we've got a great little community, and I love chatting with you all, and I appreciate you so much. I really do. I might be off on Sunday, not sure, but hit the bell and then you'll know as soon as my next video is up. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, as wonderful as possible during a global fucking pandemic. And yes, drink, be merry. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.